So we have another gangbusters crop, a great harvest of plant forum entries this evening, submissions. And we want to encourage you to do your own, and want to put a little helpful hint that at the end is a website where you can send your pictures, but what you really need to do is send more than pictures if you can. So go to the website, socalhort.org, and read about the plant forum, and you'll see the plant forum form that we would love you to fill out. And if you don't know it all, that's okay too. We can help. So, next week, excuse me, next month, you will not be submitting by photos. Next month, the meeting will actually be at the auditorium, Friendship Auditorium, and it will be live, which means you need to bring your plants to the auditorium, your live plants. And Steve Garisher will be doing the plant forum that night. Okay, there we go. My video has started, and I'm going to ask Alexis to kindly advance the slides for me, starting with number 1. So Carol, you want to say something about this wonderfully common named plant of feathery Kenny dude? I don't know if Carol is around, but it's a South African plant with.
I'm here.
You want to say something about it? It's really cool looking. Yeah.
It's very cool. It's been in my garden up here in Santa Barbara it's in its second year. And it just, even when it's not in flower, it has this amazing sculptural quality to it. And then when it flowers, it's kind of like this, it reminds me of some kind of underworld, seaweed with flowers on the top. I don't know how to describe it. Anyway,
the arrangement of the leaves is just amazing. So
it's kind of like an artemisia in a way. The foliage is sort of a silver gray, and then these wonderful dome-shaped yarrow-like inflorescences, and it's in the sunflower family, same as yarrow, only it's from the Cape region of South Africa, which is another, Mediterranean climate region. So, and this plant is maybe almost 4 feet tall.
Nice.
And it gets very minimal water and pretty much full sun. It's in a very wide parkway. Anyway, it's a very cool plant, and I've never seen it anyplace else.
Crescent Hill is in Santa Barbara, the nursery?
No, I got this through thanks to Marilee Kuhlman.
Mail order?
She was at that nursery doing some shopping for a project of hers, and I think maybe I had seen it in one of her projects, and I said, I want that plant. And she got one.
She remembered.
Yeah.
Nice. Don't go away. You can talk about the next one too.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, this is one of my favorite California native annual wildflowers. That's not readily available either in terms of seed. I might have even collected this one myself. I can't remember where I got the seed from. It grows in chaparral and coastal scrub, as well as edges of woodlands and grasslands. And it's like a pincushion. It's like a living pincushion flower, kind of like scabiosa. Only this is an annual. Sometimes the flowers are pure white, as you can see here in the close-up, and then in the background image, which was from the wild. The close-up is from my garden. The reproductive parts in the close-up are what's showing pink, whereas sometimes the actual petals are also blushed with pink. Anyway, it's just a really cool, fairly statuesque annual. It's just finishing blooming right now in my garden. I'm growing it in a pot. And I haven't been out recently on any hiking trails to see if it's still in bloom, but it tends to bloom in the late spring, early summer. And a lot of beneficial insects visit these flowers. So
yeah,
that's what I have to say about it.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank
you for the beautiful plants. So what has Laura got going on here? Looks like Coulter bush, Hymenopsis. Get that back. Anyway, we're going to move on. We've got 11 slides tonight. So Alfred Hockenmeyer has sent in a couple of wonderful things from his garden in the San Fernando Valley. Check out the male longhorn bees sleeping in the middle of a sunflower in his garden. That's what's in the slide on the left. It's just quite a wonderful photograph. So this is Helianthus annuus. It's native to California, but through much of North America, actually. And it is the source for all of the sunflowers that you see in gardens and the ones that we grow to eat and everything else. And it's super easy plant to grow from seed. I wouldn't wait. I mean, if you miss putting in seed, go ahead and buy some plants. But as Alfred said here, it's one of those only ever have to plant them once plants, because once you have them, they will self-seed around your garden, but not obnoxiously at all. And they're real easy to pull. Takes almost no water, or it can take a place where it gets regular water, full or half sun, any soil type, basically super, super easy. Pollinator magnet. So what we've got here is he's got the male longhorn bees in the middle. He's got a goldfinch hanging upside down to get to some seeds, and they also eat the leaves. And then over on the right, underneath me, is the female longhorn bee. So wildlife friendly garden must and should include this super easy to grow plant. Next, please. Alfred also has in parts of his garden lots of edible things in his garden. And in one area that gets a good amount of sun, he's got some raised beds with different crops in them. And these are 3 of his heirloom tomatoes. And they were bought at Tomato Mania this spring. So if you want to pick up some really great, like 150 different ones to choose from, you can go to a Tomato Mania in your neighborhood and end up with some beautiful, beautiful things like this. So let's see, top, which would be going clockwise, the one with the yellow shoulders, that is Sartre-Roloise or Sarroise. At the bottom, the stripy orangey one is Suze's Beauty. And then on the left is Purple Heartthrob. They all taste different. They all have different growth patterns. He uses lots of his own compost as well as alfalfa meal for a little extra nitrogen. He's watering twice a day with drip. So I'm wondering, you're doing it only for 6 minutes. What if you did it for 12 minutes? Could you do it once a day? Anyway, just a thought. Get some deeper roots in there. I think your beds have deeper spaces for roots. As I said, get them at Tomato Mania or your local nursery. Moving on, we have another tomato one coming in later, which is great. So this is one of my favorite plants in the whole world. Alfred has shown a picture here with a female carpenter bee. They are the black ones. The boys look like little golden teddy bears. This is a soap plant or amole. It's in the agave family. It is native to California and some other parts of the North America. It is a bulb, and he has it as 3 feet tall. I've actually seen the inflorescences get more than 3 feet tall. Grow it in full sun, good drainage. This was on a hike at O'Melveny Park in Granada Hills. I would tell you that the flowers, as Alfred notes, the flowers open in the late afternoon and close the next morning because they are pollinated by moths and other night-flying insects. So it's a wonderful thing to put in your garden and in your night garden where you want to have white flowers that will glow in the light of the moon. You can get these at specialty nurseries, native plant nurseries. Also check Calscape, that's CALSCAPE.org. And Calscape will tell you where, for all of the plants, you can find these things in California. So go to Chlorogallum pomeridianum, I'm having trouble, pomeridianum. I'm adding an extra vowel in there and find out where you can find some of these. Next, please. Okay, Laura, thank you for this. Agapanthus africanus, lily of the Nile, from South Africa, despite the common name, which always makes us in horticulture laugh. It's an evergreen bulbous perennial and actually tuberous, I think. Flowers in summer in this area, late spring into summer. Dry, partial shade to wet, sunny areas. I'd be careful with the wet if you've got clay soil, because you might end up with a lot of brown tips on your plants. But it's very adaptable. Often considered, as Laura calls it, a parking lot plant, but there are some things that have earned reputations as being beautiful and tenacious, as she says, and they're worth having around a lot. There are many varieties bred for flower color and for size, so you may want to look into those. John Schustra, our former president and board member, actually this is one of his house specialties, is agapanthus. So Laura is offering that you can come to her neighbor's yard and dig up some. Otherwise, they're pretty available in the nursery trade. Next slide, please. Another slide from Laura of two variations on the usual theme of California fuchsia, which is usually a deeper orangey red. The one on the left is called Sierra Salmon, and the one on the right is Summer Snow. California fuchsias are dependable summer into fall flowering plants. As you can imagine, they are adored by hummingbirds. And in the winter, they start looking pretty bad and the old growth is dying back. So you want to give them a good chopping back, usually to about 2-inch stubs in January in the middle of winter to promote and make room for new. And there are so many in the trade. What do you got here, Laura? You're sending me a note under something. What are you saying? Actually, you have to dig through my neighbor's Algerian ivy to get to their agapanthus. I don't know if you want to do that, but so what do we got? Zaschnerias, epilobiums are available at native plant nurseries and even in some regular nurseries these days. Next, please. Oh, go back, Alexis, if you would. I just want to put in a little note about this plant. These California fuchsias are incredibly heat tolerant. They also can take a little bit of shade and still flower. They really are adaptable plants. They're also good in containers. You just need a good cactus and succulent mix and make sure there's a little organic mulch on the top. And so if you want to have hummingbirds come up to your balcony where it's hot as heck and you're up on the 3rd floor, plant one of these in a pot and watch what happens. Next. Thank you, Alexis. So Hesperalo parviflora, also known as red yucca. This is originally from Mexico and the southwestern US into Texas. A clump-forming relative of agave with beautiful, narrow glaucous leaves. And I'm not going to read this chat. I want to get through this. With beautiful glaucous leaves and these magnificent upright spikes of usually reddish flowers with a little salmon in them, as you can see. Great. And these are hummingbird magnets. They just love this plant. So again, this is another thing, if you want to have hummingbirds guaranteed, you want to put this in. This plant really does appreciate as much sun as you can give it. Sandy submitted this and she says they're along the walkway that leads from the entrance to the celebration garden at the Huntington. And they prefer fast name for this hummingbird magnet. It's native to desert regions and it is as tough as it can get. Whoops, hey. We love that plant. I did want to mention that John Schustra also has been working for many years on variations on the flowers and foliage of this plant as well. So you maybe want to check with him at meetings where he brings plants that will meet in person, and then also at Greenwood, Daylily, and Iris, his wonderful nursery out in Somas. Next, please. So this is, I had, we all have our learning things. I've been out of touch a little bit. So Habranthus has been lumped into Zephranthus, and April actually alluded to it in her discussion, which made me check it out. So this should properly be Zephyranthus, formerly Haberanthus. And I think what I understood from April's notes was that this is a cultivar called Russell Manning, or possibly is. Also known as this species that it was derived from is also known as large rain lily. And it is a bulb to about 12 inches tall. Looks like it's got some pretty foliage too. And you want to give it a half-day sun inland, just to be sure, otherwise you can burn it up. Along the coast, I would say no worry about full sun. And what's significant about this particular rain lily is it's twice the size, the flowers are twice the size of other rain lilies. April got hers at Lincoln Avenue Nursery in Pasadena, and she has also seen them at the Huntington. Next slide, please, Alexis. And I'll be done shortly. One of my favorite, I already had one of my favorite natives. Here's another one of my favorite natives, and also one of Carol Aronson's favorite natives. This is our cobweb thistle, Cirsium occidentale. This is a heck of a plant. Oh, and I forgot to look something up. Marie has this as a biennial, but Calscape, which I thought was true also, Calscape is listing it as a perennial, which means it lives for 3 or more years and flowers and set seed and doesn't die. A biennial would flower and set seed the second year and then it would die. So it would be good to, yes.
It can be either.
Thank you. Carol chimed in. Okay, so now we know it can act either biennially or act as a perennial, depending on how happy it is and where you are. Blooms mostly spring into summer, and full sun, very low water, accepts virtually all soils. If you look at where it grows in California, you would know that this can take pretty much any soil. See, Marie's got it in her backyard, which is mid-city, and the ones in containers didn't make it. I did add on here, it attracts many insects and also hummingbirds. You see the bottom right photo with the little poof? Hummingbirds come to this plant and they grab that poof from the finishing flowers and they use that in their nests. So it's a good plant for all sorts of creatures. Occasionally you find it in containers in nurseries in the spring, or you can start it from seed in the fall or winter. Next, please. This is fun. Is this the last one, Alexis? I think it might be. This is a really fun thing. This is a tiny little tomato that Marie picked up. And I'm trying to, I read all of this. Where did you pick this thing up? At the Huntington plant sale. Oh, thank you for making that a little bigger. At the Huntington plant sale, it's called Spoontine tomato, red pea tomato, or spoon tomato, based on the fact that several of these little tiny tomatoes will fit inside of a spoon. And Marie has put a quarter there for scale. They are really tiny little tomatoes. Without going through all of the information, what's interesting, it's popular in seed saving and heirloom tomato communities for its genetic closeness to wild tomatoes, making it a good source for disease resistant and flavor breeding. So something different to look for. And she said it produces hundreds, even thousands of little tiny fruit. What are you saying here, Marie? I saw you chatted something. What did you chat? What did you chat? Marie, you are a wizard. Amazing. Tiny and delicious. That's what she wrote. Yeah, I want to try that. Do we have any more slides, Alexis? Oh, and she said the flavor is intensely sweet. Missed that. So, oh, you did say they were delicious. Anyway, we're gonna finish up quickly. Get our